Hi, my name is Bernat Espiguler, and I'm from Wolfram Research. I'm based in Barcelona, and from the past month, I've been mentoring in different hackathons, and I'm showing how to use the Wolfram Data Drop and the Raspberry Pi to make different examples for an apps. So today I'm gonna show you how you can use the Wolfram Data Drop with the Raspberry Pi 2 to get data from different sensors. And I'm also going to show you several activities for education, in this case for the classroom. But I could, yeah, so let's just start with the Wolfram Data Drop. How many of you have used it already? It's quite new, so you can actually get the data from sensors, devices, programs, or from humans that can be entered through a web form, for example. That's one of the examples I'm going to show later, but for now I'm going to center how to use it with the Raspberry Pi. The Raspberry Pi is a great size computer, and it's aimed for people of all ages to explore computing and to learn how to program. So it comes with the Wolfram language and Mathematica for free, and there you can get started. And the Model 2 that came earlier this year, it's a way faster. So you get 1 GB of RAM, and you can just plug in the GPU all the sensors that you want. It have additional 14 pins that you can plug in sensors. And for example, I'm going to show you an example I created last week using an LED. And this is the simple example of Hello World, but I asked it Mathematica how is it translated to the Morse code. So I'm taking the Morse code in this case, and I'm going to replace all the dots and slashes for this code. And then I just turning on the LED light for 0.2 seconds or 1 second in this case. And here I'm just going to show you quickly the movie. It's just blinking. So it's just saying hello world with an LED. That's the kind of things that you can do with the Raspberry Pi. Connect LEDs and create experiments. But let's see what we can send to the data drop. And this is connecting a sensor. In this case, it's an infrared motion sensor that's quite cheap, and you can get started. For example, here I just put it one on my hall for several months. I was tracking the movements when I pass it by through the main door. So I was studying it. I was counting the number of movements detected every 20 minutes, and I was sending that to a data bin I created with this ID. And after several months, I just analyzed it. And for example, here I just selected the business days in blue and the weekends in orange. So you can get an analysis of several months of data. But you can also track it in real time with Wolfram Alpha. So you get real-time analysis of your data. And you can even set it up to send emails. Like, for example, this example I created that Anthony was commenting with. So if you detect a movement, then it's going to send you an email with the image of the intruder. And in this case, I put the camera in the front door, so I was detecting the movements there. And when a movement was detected, I send it to the data bin, and I get the data for like the 24 hours of activity in the front door. And this morning, I just set it up in my hotel room. So I just put the Raspberry Pi here, I stick the camera. I was using the TV to plug with the HDMI eye to the monitor. So I was using the TV as a monitor, and I was able to set up a new data bin. I started to record images every 6 minutes with this shallow task. And here it is. So I'm going to get the photos from this data bin that are being updated now. For example, yeah, you get all the images. Just moved, and we can animate it make a time lapse, for example. You can see the construction going on right now. This is based on a tutorial I created on Wolfram community. So you can go there and see how, for example, I took this plant I had and I didn't water it for several days, and then when I watered it, it just came alive again. So I'm just explaining the steps you have to follow to create these kind of time lapses. This is a couple of hours moving, going down. I must say that no plant was harmed, so I'm not quite sure. But let's see other things that you can do with the data drop. Data drop, you can create activities like this one. You set up the interpretation of your entries that you are sending to your data bin to be, for example, an animal. And here I'm setting 2 entries, animal 1 and animal 2. So then when you create this data bin, you can send the link to your students, and then they are going to submit it through the web form that it's been automatically created. They input the animal 1 and the animal 2, and the interpreter is going to catch the entity of these animals. So once your students have submitted these entities, you're going to get the data back, and then, for example, you can create a graph of the favorite animals of your students or something like that. Another collaborative activity that I was involved with, it was in a hackathon that I was a mentor in. So I was helping a team that created a crowdsourcing project that's called Brainterstellar. And they were taking images from NASA. So they were using the API from NASA, and they were putting them to the Wolfram cloud and deploying them in a way that you, for example, can go there and select the favorite images that you want, and it's going to be saved in a data bin. So you're getting data from a lot of users in a centralized way. So you are taking all these images of the data that are being scanned daily. So all these users are helping to scan and select the images that you are asking for. And it's going to be you're going to get the first round, and then you start another round. So you are emerging towards a final goal, and you're finally getting this collaborative answer that you selected. So that was an unexpected application of data drop. Then you have the connected devices. The Wolfram technology enables us to plug more and more devices right now. For example, I'm wearing this Fitbit, where I can track, for example, the steps I do daily, and I can store these in data bins and make all sorts of things. And the second way is using an API. You can also use an API to store data. This is the example I created in a hackathon in Barcelona about the smart cities. So I'm using the public sharing, bike sharing system that there is in the city. And that's the animation that Conrad showed that was going on. So you can use it for several cities also. But this was for Barcelona, and the data was stored in a data bin. Then one of the teams that I was mentoring created a platform with Raspberry Pis. So we had a collection of sensors with gas sensors. So they were taking these gas sensors and showing the emissions in one of the main streets in Barcelona. So you were getting this data from several Raspberry Pis unified in one data bin. So they were able to tweet it from the same Raspberry Pi that they had, and was an amazing application also. So I'm going to finish my presentation here, just letting you with several resources. To get started, if you get one of these devices, is this site. So here you start to see the tutorials and documentation from the Wolfram language and the Raspberry Pi. And then you have other resources, for example, the Wolfram data drop quick reference. You can see all the things that you can do with data drop. It's a good way to get ideas about your projects and what you want to do with that. And finally, the Raspberry Pi group on Wolfram community, it's also getting more active lately. So we're going to see more and more examples. For example, this geolocation device is quite cool, what you can do when you connect it to the Raspberry Pi. And here you have all the code explained and all the steps. Finally, I must mention this free tutorial from one of the former employees, Kyle Keane. So we have this tutorial, it's same for ages from 9 to 14. But I think it's really designed for the Raspberry Pi. So you get a slideshow that you can start and get the basic functions that you have in the Wolfram language. So I encourage to download it. And finally, here you have the connected devices and guide. That's also really useful to see what the functionalities you have for sensors and other devices. And that's all. Yeah, thank you very much.
Much indeed, Bernat. Does anyone have any questions for Bernat and his project? Okay, one coming up here.
Will you provide some Arduino code in the future?
The code, or
that it's possible to link the Arduino to the data drop?
Yeah, it's possible to link the Arduino to the Raspberry Pi. So, for example, you can connect analog sensors to your Arduino and get the data to the Raspberry Pi.
Yeah, but without Raspberry Pi. Let's say Arduino Uno, which has a web interface, talking directly
to the data drop. Yes, it's something that says that it's coming soon. For example, I know that, for example, for Arduino Yun, I think it connects through Wi-Fi. It's possible to do it, and Arnold wrote a really interesting post on Wolfram community. So,
we do have time, Bernat, so you don't have to rush.
Yeah, so yeah, that's okay. But you're going to find here a really tutorial from Arnold Busnik about using Arduino with the data bin, with the data drop.
I should just explain that Bernat has actually broken the record for a Wolfram staff member finishing his talk in record time. Did we have another question? Yes.
Christian Wolf. Bernat, I see all these nice applications for the embedded devices, but have not seen so far a consistent path for intrinsic embedded security into it. So I'm not unfair about saying posting video pictures to a cloud or whatever, even if it's a private cloud, is fine. But in the end, I might even decide within my family who is able to access what and what not, and let alone in a university or an enterprise. What is the global common security part? I have analyzed only the cloud so far, a little bit played with the web versions of Mathematica, and normally I use just my client version. And what I saw is promising, but I don't see the large picture in it getting too secure in the long run. What can you tell us about that?
I mean, for example, the Fitbit execute function, you need the service execute, you need to provide your password to get the data in, but it's using the Fitbit API from this company, and anyway you are storing this data to their cloud. So I mean, I'm not the right person to answer this question, but I think that they are making steps to making it more secure. And the Wolfram data drop is in beta, so it's going to be more stable and more secure to just upload data to these data bins. And let me show you, for example, this is the images that are being loaded from the Raspberry Pi Cam, the camera module, from my ROM. So it is just right now, it took the picture. And in your data drop account, you can specify all the, should sign in. So when you are in your data account, you can specify if you want to be in a public mode or just no access to anyone. Right now it's only that you can read it, so you can just take note of this URL short ID, and with this short ID you can download this data. That's the weight. But I'm not going to allow you to put data on my data bin.